We are gonna do a February and March reading wrap up because I did not do a February one. So let's get into it. February was my ACOTAR month. So I started out with A Court of Thorns and Roses. I rated this 4-star. It was super slow. I understand that you got to get through this to get the next, but I love the ending of this, the little everything that went down at the end of this. Okay, if you know, you know. If you haven't read ACOTAR, I highly suggest, especially if you love romance and fantasy. I'm sure everyone's read this by now. I'm so late. But I just got into my reading era, so here we are. Then of course, immediately I had to jump into A Court of Mist and Fury. Yes. Although I love this book, it was a 5-star read for me. It wasn't my favorite in the series, honestly. I jumped right into A Court of Wings and Ruin, and I ate this up. 6 freaking stars, god tier book. This book will stay with me forever. I loved everything about this, the way Feyre was in the beginning to the war at the end. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible, and this book made the series for me. Then this is where things slow down. I devoured those 3 books in like a week, and then I picked up A Court of Frost and Starlight. And this is a novella. I should have been able to read this in one sitting. I really should have. But to be honest, I read 2 other books in the time that I finished this. It's not that it wasn't good, because this was good. I rate it 3.5 star, mainly because I read 2 other books in the meantime. But it was just like a fun time, right? So there wasn't a lot of plotting, and I love a good plot. So yeah, 3.5 star. In between that, before I finish this, and this is still February, okay? I read Lights Out by Navessa Allen, which I did the audiobook to this. The audiobook, the narrator, the voice narrator for Josh, phenomenal. This was a 4-star book. This was so good. If you have not read Lights Out, please go read it. Yes, I got the sticker. Do not judge on the stickers. But oh my goodness, was this book absolutely such a fun time. And I highly recommend the audiobook because it made the book. It was hilarious. I was giggling, laughing, kicking my feet. Good time. Is the plot incredible? No. But it's a good book. Okay, and then during that time, I also read Nero by S.J. Tilly. I've heard a few recommendations on this. It's supposed to be like a dark mafia romance. It was a 2-star read for me. Oh, nobody come for me. But I thought it was terrible. It was, well, okay, it wasn't like super terrible to where it was a 1-star, but the instant love, the banter wasn't that great. The plot was terrible and predictable. There was just nothing. It wasn't giving. I need books to give, right? It wasn't giving. Now we jump into March. Starting out in March, this thick, we finished A Court of Silver Flames. Read and finished. Now, A Court of Silver Flames, I gave it 4-star. I want to say 60% way through this book, I was going to give it a 1-star. It was deserving of a 1-star the first 60%. There's no need for this book to be 750 pages. Okay? Down and down and around and around, down and down and around and around. It was so repetitive that I was like, okay. That's a bit dramatic. But anyways, yeah. And then at the ending, it got good. Nesta, her journey at the end, her little found family, yeah. Quinn and Emery. I mean, that was what made this book. Them 3. Okay. Then I started the Chestnut Spring series. Oh my goodness, we read Flawless. Flawless was 4-star. This was so good. It was so fun. I absolutely enjoyed this. I'm so excited to continue reading the rest. This follows Summer and Rhett, and cowboy romance, contemporary romance, spicy, good, like, yeah. Then the book that destroyed me. We read The Fabric of Our Souls. So The Fabric of Our Souls, this was 5 freaking stars. And this follows Win and Liam. And it's like a thriller, dark romance. Okay, so there's a thriller aspect to it. This is heavy on the mental health, so check your triggers. But they are 2 mentally unstable individuals. They are in a facility called Harlow Sanctum. And yeah, this is dark, and there's a lot of trauma. Again, there's some people that have gone missing from the facility, so there's a little mystery there, an investigation. And then the ending of this book will have you in tears. I was unwell. I sat and stared, and I could not go to sleep for hours after reading this because I couldn't stop thinking about them. I was heartbroken. I was shattered. Yes, absolutely yes. Then we read On Wings of Blood by Briar Bolland. This book, okay, if you want dark academia, vampires, dragons, slow burn, bully romance, enemies to almost lovers, back to enemies, yeah, okay, fantastic. And then I also read The Bond That Burns. Oh, I gave this one 4 star, and then I read The Bond That Burns, the second book in the Bloodwing Academy series. That one, 5 freaking stars. That had me throwing my Kindle at my pillow. I was absolute mess from that book. I was angry, and then I was giddy, and I went through so many emotions in that book. There's so much that happens, and it's very intense, and I love the series. I cannot wait for the 3rd book. Then we also read Lightlark. This by Alex Astor. This was good. I kind of wasn't sure if it was YA or not. It's definitely YA. I like a little bit of spice. There's not really spice. Her main character, oh my goodness, I forgot her name. I just know her as Heart Eater because that is what Grimm calls her. Okay, so our main character, Heart Eater, because I don't remember her name. And then we have Grimm and Oro, and they go to this island like every 100 years, and they all have their little isles have like curses and stuff, and there's trials, and they're trying to fulfill this prophecy. There's a lot of twists and turns and backstabs and unexpected things happening in this book, so 4 star for me. Then we also read Scream for Us by Molly Doyle. This was a under 100-page novella of dark smut. I don't know what it is, but I love a short smutty novella as a palate cleanser. Something when I've read a bunch, I read a couple of series and stuff, and now I'm like, okay, I need something to really get me so I can start another series that I'm really excited about. So, Scream for Us. Check your triggers again and enjoy the ride. Nothing memorable. It is just a good time. That's all it is. And then we started the Edge of Darkness trilogy. We hopped into Insatiable by Lee Rivers. I had read Little Stranger, so I was really excited to hop into this series. And Insatiable was 4.5 star. It was fantastic, and it fooled me. I have now started the second one, not Restitution, or I finished Voracious, and now I'm on the 3rd one, Restitution, but those are going to be for next month's wrap up. However, I will say this book, this series is dark. Okay, do not let this first book, Insatiable, fool you, because it seems like you're having a good time, and you're like, oh, this ain't that dark. And like your dark romance girly, it may not seem that dark at first, and you're cruising along and you're like, I love the love though, little dark aspects here and there. And then the second book, you get into the second book and it's like something smacks into you because you're like, holy crap, what is going on? What is happening? This is dark. This is beating up my soul. This is horrendous at points. And even into the third book, Restitution, I haven't finished it yet. I'm on it, but this is dark. Do not take your trigger warnings lightly. Please, please check your trigger warnings if you read this series. There's a lot of things that I could see, very real things that could affect some people, and I don't want you to risk your mental health. Anyways, that's my reading wrap up. Bye!